stories of women's lives presents the opportunity to acknowledge individual and collective stories of women that are woven into the fabric of our nation's history. The DON honors all women. There are countless examples of women whose demonstration of exemplary leadership, courage, and resolve have helped the United States Navy and Marine Corps become the greatest naval force in the world. Inspired by the courageous pioneers who came before them, women now make up 8% of the active duty flag officers and 29% of reserve flag officers. In the DON civilian workforce, women comprise 25% of senior executives. Naval women today hold higher level leadership positions in the DON than that at any time in history. The DON continually attracts talented women in the general active duty service and the civilian workforce. There are 57,125 active duty women and 12,625 female reservists serving in the Navy and Marine Corps, comprising 19% of the total naval force. In support of our warfighters, 83,696 civilian women work for the DON, representing 35% of our total civilian labor force. The Navy and Marine Corps communities are enriched by the accomplishments of women in all facets of military and civilian duties, both ashore and afloat. The fortitude of spirit displayed by past and present heroines make them role models, not just for women, but for all. Please observe this month by recognizing the contributions of our U.S. Navy and Marine Corps women as we celebrate this month. The DON will continue to promote inclusive policies and practices that advance the sense of excellence and patriotism shared by all members of the naval force.
The person that I chose to write about was Michelle Howard, the current Vice Chief of Naval Operations. She was born on April 30th, 1960. She was the daughter of a former U.S. Master Sergeant in the Air Force, Nick Howard, and his British wife, Philippa. She is currently serving as the 38th Vice Chief of Naval Operations. Not only that, she is also the first African-American woman to achieve 3-star rank and 4-star rank in the U.S. Navy. Howard was also the first African-American woman to achieve the rank of Admiral. In 2006, Michelle was selected for the rank of Rear Admiral, lower half, making her the first Admiral selected from the U.S. Naval Academy class of 1982. And she was the very first female graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy selected for flag rank on July 1st.
Margaret Cooper came from a military family and followed in their footsteps by joining the Army Reserves at age 16. Then later on, she switched over to the Navy. She had a love for the ocean, making her want to become a diver, and not just any diver. She became an underwater construction diver. She was once known as the cast iron among her colleagues. Months before her dive exam, she was diagnosed with a form of cervical cancer, but that did not stop her. Margaret underwent an operation and got back to training again. She then graduated with honors at age 29. In dive school, she was one of the 2 people who passed the medical exam. In 1994, Petty Officer Margaret Cooper was the first and only woman underwater construction battalion officer. And one of her missions was to show other women the desire she had and how they can do the same thing in life, you just have to have the will.
It's History Month. My sister inspires me. She has 4 children and goes to school full-time and works full-time. And she also raised me. She is a wonderful woman and my role model.
Kara Holtgren. She was a lieutenant and naval aviator in the United States Navy. She became the first female carrier-based fighter pilot. She was ranked 3rd of 7 in her class. She was given the call sign She-Hulk for having the ability to bench press 200 pounds and a play on her surname Holtgren. Lieutenant Holtgren died at only 29 years old, just months later after she was certified for combat, when her F-14 Tomcats left engine stalled, causing an unavoidable crash on descent to the USS Abraham Lincoln off the coast of San Diego, California. After a routine training mission on October 25th, 1994, the pioneer female fighter pilot was buried with full military honors at Arlington National Cemetery 19 days later.
EQCM Kathy Key. She claims the title of the first female construction mechanic Master Chief in the Seabees, making her a double-down rarity. Enlisted in 1984 as a CM, she faced a great amount of adversity, coming up in the ranks to say the least. Although it was not until 1994 she landed her first battalion due to females being banned from ground combat units until then. Checking into her 4th command, she was told, "We don't need a CB here, so I don't know why you're checking in, and we definitely don't need a female CB." but Keith stuck with it. "Don't tell me I can't, because I will," is what she would say. Keith retired back in March of 2012 out of NMC.